This is probably going to be the most obnoxious and longest video I've ever done. Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited about this video. Makeup Struggles, if you don't know who she is, check her out. She is hilarious. She tagged me in the All the Palettes collection. So basically what we're doing today is I'm going to go through my entire eyeshadow collection. It's gonna be long, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so since it's the holiday season and I knew I was going to be buying a lot of new things, I decided that I really wanted to go through a lot of my stuff and get rid of it. I wanted to give it to someone that I know is an up-and-coming makeup artist. I have a client who has a daughter that just started beauty school. She wants to be a makeup artist, so I have this huge bag of makeup right here that's going to her. But first I want to show you the eyeshadow palettes that I have in there. And as we go along, I'll talk about the eyeshadow palettes if I like it and so on. So the first palette we're going to talk about here is the Sephora Pantone palette. This is one of the palettes that I am giving away just simply because it sounded like a good idea. You know, I was kind of like, okay, yeah, great idea. It'll be cool to have. I have never used this. I think I maybe have used it twice for like a couple of creative things, but I wasn't thinking. This is one of those palettes where I bought into the hype. I was like, yes, I need it. The pastels on dark skin is a solid no, so I should have known better than that. So we're gonna go ahead and give this away. Next up, I got suckered into the whole Too Faced. Too Faced gets you because the packaging and everything is just so appealing to the eye. And this is a cute palette. Sugar Pop here. I love the shades in it. Super, super cute. However, again, I just don't reach for it. So if I don't reach for it, then that means I just need to give it away. Next up, this is a palette that I was disappointed in. I actually have a review on this, so if you want to check it out, please do. But this is the NYX In Your Element Fire palette. I wanted to love this palette so bad. First off, this palette runs you for $30, which I think is a little bit ridiculous, just simply because NYX is a drugstore product. It is affordable. You can find it at Ulta, Target, and so on. And these shadows just do not perform well. I feel like NYX's other eyeshadow palettes that aren't $30 or even the singles perform much better than this. However, I did create a really, really pretty look with it. I just don't think it's worth the money. So I'm going to be passing this on along to her as well. Next up, this is actually a palette that I bought last holiday season. I don't know why, but it is a all metallic palette. This is the Urban Decay After Dark. I have a review on it. I've used it twice and that was it. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I guess online, I don't know. I guess sometimes that's how they get you when you buy stuff offline. Like, online shopping is great. However, I think when it comes to makeup, for me, it's better for me to actually go and see it, because I think had I saw this palette in store, I would have never purchased it. But online, it's like, ooh, holiday season online, VIB, first access. Don't let them get you. Don't let them trick you for your Gucci, okay? So I'm gonna pass this along. And those are all the eyeshadow palettes that I'm passing along. And then everything else in here, just like my Too Faced bronzer, I don't use that anymore. My clients, like a bunch of concealers, foundations. So I'm gonna pass this on to her because I think it will be a really good thing, and I just like giving back to people. All right, next up, we're going to talk about some palettes that are in my client kit. So these are palettes that I don't use on myself. I just strictly use them for my clients, and then just depending on what I'm doing, whether it be photo shoot, fashion show, whatever the case may be, I just kind of pick and choose from my whole collection. But these are staples that just stay in there no matter what. First things first, Kat Von D Shade and Light. I love this palette. This is a solid palette if you just like basic matte tones. I think this is a really good palette. They blend out easily, super buttery, go on great, and they work on all skin tones. As you can see, she's used and abused. So this is a really good one. Next up, these two. Okay, so when I show you this one, this is gonna, this has been through. So this is Naked 1 and I have Naked 3. Naked 1 here has been through it. I use my Naked palettes a lot for weddings. This one here, this is the Naked 3 palette. I like these a lot for the specific reasons of if I'm doing something like just very, very soft, natural glam, or weddings. If you're a makeup artist and you are into doing a lot of bridal things, I definitely recommend this. Or if you're someone you just like basic eyeshadows, you don't have to think about it, not hard to work with, I think these are really good. I think these are great for when you're first getting into makeup as well. And then the next palette that I have that lives in my client kit, this is the Morphe 35F Fall into Frost. I just like this palette because it gives me just a variety of different shimmer tones. I use a lot of these up top for all over the lid, inner corner. I'll use sometimes these purpley mauve tones on the outer corner. This is just a really good variety of tones to have, especially now. This is in there because it is fall, and I feel like this is just like a good fall metallic palette to have. So this has been living in my client kit. This palette is the first eyeshadow palette that I ever bought. I will never give this away. I'm sure it's beat up. Oh god, oh, it's broken. Okay, this is my baby. I can't hold it. Can I hold it up? This is the Too Faced Return of the Sexy. I remember when I bought this palette in beauty school, I saved up for like 2 months to buy it, and when I tell you I used this bad boy, I used it. You guys can get in there and kind of see. Man, I'm gonna start using this again. This is like the perfect like smoky eye palette. This is the I'm going out. This is the I'm going clubbing. This is the I need my eyes to be super dramatic. I love this. It gives you the options of like the brown tones here, the purple tones, and then even kind of like these cool smoky tones, which you can see I was really digging into. Love this palette. I will never get rid of this palette. This is my baby. I love it. Alright, up next we have the Urban Decay Electric palette. This palette is dope. Okay, so anytime I'm doing something and I need crazy, vibrant, pigmented colors, this is the palette that I go for. I remember buying this because I don't know if it was Murillo gave me a Sephora gift card. I think this is like right when we kind of first started dating. He just randomly bought me a Sephora gift card. I was like, ooh, thank you. So I went and I got this and I was like, yes, I love it. This is a really cool palette. Obviously, it's not like your typical everyday palette, but if you're someone and you like these colors and you want to wear this every day, then girl, wear it every day. This is super fun. This is a dope palette too. This is a palette that I got, I think, 2 years ago. Yeah, when I was just like, okay, I'm going to legit do my YouTube channel, because I had a YouTube channel when I was in beauty school, but I was very nervous. I was scared. I'd put some stuff out here and there. I wasn't consistent. I didn't really get consistent with my YouTube channel. I think maybe it's been 2.5 years ago. So this is one of the first palettes that I bought, and I remember it and I love it. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Chips. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Semi-Sweet palette. This is a dope palette. As you can see, I love the shade Peanut Butter. This is one of those palettes that I forget about because, like, especially being a makeup artist and being on YouTube, I just try so many products that sometimes, you know, your old stuff that's good, you just kind of forget about. But I love this palette. This is also another good palette if you are just getting into makeup or you just kind of like the basic neutral tones. This is a dope palette to have as well. Alright, moving on here. I forgot about this guy. Like, I had to go through my drawers and dig a lot of this up. This is the e.l.f. Jackie Alina palette. I bought 2 of these and I gave one to my best friend. I like this for if I have to travel and I just need something. Like, I'm not doing anything too serious when I'm traveling, but like if I'm just going home to visit or something like that and I just want a tiny little eyeshadow palette, this is what I'll pick up. I love this teal tone here and the gold, and I can use this burgundy tone as like a crease color, this taupey shade. This is a really cute palette. However, this is no longer available. Limited edition. This next palette here, my goddaughter Mackenzie has been like eyeing, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and give it to her. This is the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. It's super cute. I love it. There's nothing wrong with this palette. Again, this is just one of those palettes that I have that just kind of got pushed over to the side because I have so many other things. But I love this palette. I love Nuts About You. I love Jelly. I love Bananas. No, that's not Bananas. I love Spread the Love. These shades, this is just a really pretty. If you're someone and you like those gold tones with a little bit of pop of the purple, I think the purple really gets me. This is a really cute little palette to have. Next up, this is a palette that used to live in my client kit, and I probably need to throw it away. because is it dried out? No, it's not dried out. Okay, cool. So this is the Sonia Kaushk. This is the Sonia Kaushk palette. So if you're not familiar with Sonia Kaushk, she is at Target. I had this in my palette for the longest time because before I had my Kat Von D Shade and Light, this was my Shade and Light. This is what I use for my mattes. It is 20 bucks. You get all of these shades. I would use these for eye looks, and I would also use this on the brows. This is a really, really great palette to have, and it's super, super tiny. You can, it's compact. You can travel with it. Very, very good one to have. This next palette I do not like, and I probably just need to go ahead and give it away. Who can I give this away to? Probably give it to Lauren, my best friend. This is the Kylie Burgundy palette. I'm not a fan of this palette because I do not like the way that it performs. The formulas for these shades and this palette in particular, I don't know if they're still the same now. They're just, I feel like I put them on, I blend them out, they're gone. I wasn't impressed with it. However, the new formulation that they have, they're good, but this one, not so much, not into it. Ooh, this next palette is fun. This is the Juvia's Place Zulu palette. I love this palette. I used it recently here. This is so much fun. I'm gonna grab some more Juvia's Place palettes. I have some Colored Rain palettes coming in. I got some other things coming in that you won't see here in this video, but they'll be coming soon. However, I love this because I just think the shade range is cool, and this is one of those palettes that makes me step outside of my comfort zone and just come up with some crazy creative looks. I do have a tutorial using this palette, and I think that is probably one of my favorite colorful eye looks I've ever created with this palette. So, bomb, bomb, bomb. These next two palettes here are Morphe palettes. This is the Morphe 35C. This actually used to live in my client kit as well. This is just a colorful palette. This is great if you like colors, if you are a makeup artist and you just need a variety. This is good. I use this a lot whenever I'm doing anything creative. This is kind of busted. I've had this for a minute. Yeah. And then the other palette here, this is one of those palettes where Instagram got me. I was like, oh my gosh, I need it. This is the 35R. When I got it, I was thugging it out, and I was using this bad boy for like 3 weeks. Then it just kind of got got kind of old really quick. There's nothing wrong with it. Again, this is just one of those basic neutral tone, with a little bit of cool tone. You got your gold, bronzy, shimmery shades. If you were into this and this is all you ever wear, get it because you'll enjoy it. And Morphe shadows, let me tell you something. The formula of the Morphe shadows are bomb. Don't sleep on them. I know Morphe is one of those brands that's kind of like always got some kind of drama going on. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that stuff because whenever I see it, it all seems kind of stupid and frivolous, but the makeup's good. Can't go wrong with the makeup. And then the last palette, this is the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette here. I don't reach for this palette that much. I was using it at one point, and then as I started using it, I had a change of heart, and I think I'm gonna give this away. Yeah, I'm giving it away. It's not a bad palette. I just feel like the colors are a little bit, this palette is a little bit dry. I feel like Urban Decay shadows, they are not consistent. If it's something that's permanent, I realize with them, then the shadows are pretty good. But I think this palette, when it came out originally, it was like $54, $56, and then like 3 months later or 6 months later, it was half off. So that kind of irritated me a little bit because Murillo actually bought this for me as a gift because I said something about wanting it, and then he went and got it, which was like super sweet. It was like, I was like, oh, okay, thanks, boo. You always look out for me. He supports me so much with my makeup channel. He gives me ideas. He's always like, what products are you thinking about? He's like a huge help. So shout out to you, boo. But anywho, he bought this for me, and that's the only reason why I feel bad about giving it away, because he bought it for me. However, I don't use it, so I don't know. We're gonna have to pray on that one. I have to figure that one out. Now we're gonna talk about some Tarte palettes. I did a couple of I did a video on the Tarte Toasted. Don't like it, returned it. However, these two bad boys, the original Tarte Toilette palette. Mine is dirty. I guess it's good that some of this stuff is dirty and used and abused, because you guys can see that I actually generally use it and that I like it. But this is the original. Again, this is just your basic matte shades. Tarte eyeshadows, well, in the Tartelet, these two anyway, are really, really good. I love whenever I need something for a wedding or myself and I just want something that's just like a really, really soft, natural, beautiful, classic look. This is the palette that I go with. And then I actually have Tartelet in Bloom on my eyes. Anytime I want something that's a little bit more like a cool tone, grungy, this is the palette that I reach for. This is a really good palette. This is not something that is overrated. This is where it's at. I love this palette. Love, love, love. Now we're gonna move on to Anastasia Beverly Hills. I got a lot of her palettes. Let's go with the first one that I ever bought from her. This is the Self-Made. This was limited edition. When I saw this palette, I was like, hey, that's interesting. I had never really paid attention. I think this is when it was still newer. They only had like a couple of palettes. This is like before Modern Renaissance and all that. So Self-Made, I think the thing that gets me with Anastasia, like I always say, is just the color selection and how they arrange it. It's just so unique, and the palette and it forces me to step outside of my comfort zone, and I just come up with some really, really cool looks. What I like to do with most palettes, especially the Anastasia Beverly Hills, whenever I'm doing an eye look, I like to keep with one palette if I can, just simply because I feel like it stretches my creativity a little bit more. But this is a cool palette that I had. I used this a lot over the holiday season 2 years ago. This was fun, and I needed to leave this out because I do love this. Next up, you guys have all seen it, Modern Renaissance. Do I need to say anything about it? You can tell I like it. It's beat up. Modern Renaissance, dope palette. Makeup by Mario. This is a palette that I throw around in my client kit a lot. This is great for natural glam. This is great for going out. This is great for brides. I use this a lot, especially on anybody that's a woman of color. I just feel like this palette just looks great on medium, deep, dark, chocolatey, smooth skin tones. I don't know. I love this palette on that skin tone, but this is a really, really good one. This is not available either. And then, of course, Subculture. The most recent palette, we have Prism. Prism is cool. Prism is just cool. It's just a cool little palette to look at. I'm gonna do some more looks here. I'll do some sort of holiday look with it. So you guys let me know if you'd like to see a fun holiday look with it. And I do already have a video and review and demo on this palette as well. Alright, that's all at ABH. This next palette, I love. It is so dope. So this is the Maybelline City Mini palette, and I have a video with this as well. This palette is so bomb. If you are balling on a budget and you need some eyeshadow that's affordable and good, please get this. I'm sure that all the other ones are probably just as good. I know they have like a green tone one and a blue one. This is a really fun palette. This purple tone is great on brown eyes. So if you have brown eyes, this will be your best friend. The application goes on smooth. They're not chalky. They're not drying. I was very, very, very impressed with this. Then the next palette that I have, this is an Inglot palette. My cousin actually got this for me when she was in Greece. This is a palette that she actually created. She put together for me, and she did really, really good. So this is another one of those little palettes where if I'm traveling, I just need something small to travel with. This is a great palette to go for. And then here we have the Too Faced Sweet Peach. This is one of my favorite palettes. These next two palettes are like two of my favorites. So Too Faced, oh no, why are we broken? Did I drop it? Yikes. Alright, so Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. This is a great palette for spring. I use this all spring, all summer long. I love the purple tones. I love the peachiness. It smells like peach. I think it's interesting though that this is called Peach palette, but yet like literally this is like the only peachy tone, but you know, whatever. This is one of those palettes that Too Faced came out with, and yes, grab it. This is a good one. It's not like some of the other ones that they come out with. I feel like sometimes they come out with so much stuff it can be overwhelming. I think that's my issue with ColourPop. I have never tried anything from ColourPop. However, I swear I know Ayana's gonna get me for this, but because she loves ColourPop. And I'm not knocking them. I think for me, I just get so overwhelmed because I follow Trend Mood, and I swear every single day ColourPop is coming out with something. So it's kind of like, I don't even know. And I know they're in Sephora now, so maybe when I go into Sephora and I'll check it out, kind of swatch it and play with it, I'm just like, yo, y'all, it's too much. I don't know, I can't keep up. So that's that. And then the next palette that I have here, that is one of my favorite. This is the Kylie Royal Peach palette. This palette is bomb. It is a rare occasion that I create the same eye look. I never, ever, ever create the same eye look. However, with this palette, I use this one as well in conjunction with Sweet Peach. Like these two palettes, these are like my spring summer palettes. I can't tell you how many times I created the same looks with these just simply because I like this palette so much. I wasn't expecting to like this palette. I bought this palette when it came out, so it was after the burgundy and I was already had low hopes for it. However, again, the formulation for this one is totally different. This is a really, really great palette. I like it a lot. And then next up, we have some newer palettes here you guys have already seen on my channel. So this is the Urban Decay Naked Heat. This is a really, really great palette. I love this palette on brown eyes and blue eyes. I don't know, I just think this is just so fiery, so fun. You can make it natural, you can glam it up. It's just a really, really cool palette. I think this is the best palette that Urban Decay has ever come out with. So this is fire! This is the Morphe 3502. Bam. Warm palette. This is what a warm palette looks like. You have reds, you have orange. The only thing this palette is lacking is yellow. However, when I think of warm, I think red. I created this most pretty red eye look that I'm obsessed with using this palette, and I think it's just so cool. So good job, Morphe, on this one, because this palette is literally fire. Bomb. And then the next two palettes that I have here, Kylie Purple. Listen, I'm into purples recently. I'm into cool tones recently. This palette is bomb. I know a lot of people don't like Kylie. A lot of people are upset that they don't like Kylie, but this palette is bomb. I love this. Fire. And then the last palette, this is my most recent purchase. This is my most expensive eyeshadow palette I've ever bought. Huda Beauty eyeshadow. Oh, this is just pretty. It's just so pretty. I have been playing with this palette ever since I got it. I have videos on both of these, the Kylie and the Huda. Just if you want to splurge and buy it. Is it a palette that I feel like you need to rush out and get? No. But if you want to rush out and get it, you won't be disappointed. Alright guys, so after the video I went through my collection some more and condensed it and cut it down, because after I went through my foundation I was like, you know what, go through your eyeshadow, you don't need all of this. So now I've only got it down to this. So I have this over here and then this stand over here, with the exception of my one Morphe palette that just doesn't fit anywhere. But I feel like this should be enough for me personally, and working for, you know, professionally, brides, fashion shows, events and whatnot. So this should be enough. I'm gonna try really, really hard not to buy any more eyeshadow. Like I said, that's the hard thing for me, eyeshadow. And then I've got things over here. This stuff I'm going to be donating to the women's shelter with a couple of other things. So what I'm thinking is, what I want to do, this is my vanity, it's a little messy right now. I want to do, I don't know, would you guys be interested in a what's on my vanity? And I think a good way for me to kind of, I'm in my PJs, don't mind me, but I think a good way for me to kind of just scale it back, I'm going to start saying this: if it can't all fit on my vanity, then I don't need it. What do you guys think about that? Let me know down below. I need a water, I need a glass of wine, that's it, okay? That is the end of this video. That is all of my eyeshadow palettes, sweet baby Jesus. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what are some of your eyeshadow palettes. Like I said, I have some other things coming in. I've got some stuff from Colored Rain. I have my eyes on a couple of other things. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.